This video is sponsored by Deep Cut Studios. For a wide range of fantastic gaming resources such as battle mats, dice trays and pre-painted bases, check out the description below.
Whenever you speak to Lord Cooper, he comes across as a proper gentleman, all businesslike and respectable. But his eyes look at you less as a person and more as a target. Those eyes, my friend, are the eyes of a master hunter. Of course, he didn't start out like that. Lord Cooper, or simply Justin as he was known back then, grew up in a lower upper class family, which I personally didn't know was a thing. Rich is rich to me. But anyway, Justin, despite his wealth, hated his life. His father was rather frugal and didn't want his son to be weakened by the extravagant parties, expensive vehicles, and other things other boys his age were getting into. There was, however, one indulgence that his father did allow: hunting. Justin, though, had no urge to wallow in the mud with the commoners shooting at random animals, and told his father as such. His father didn't appreciate Justin's opinion and disowned him, told him to only come back once he proved himself. On his own for the first time, the boy was forced to rely on the people he had previously disparaged, his father's personal hunters. The hunters were more than willing to train the boy, despite his attitude. And over time, Justin came to respect the hunt and the hunters, culminating in him throwing down his first kill onto his daddy's desk as proof of his growth. Returned to the fold, Justin traveled the world, hunting in the most dangerous places the world had to offer. It was in these travels that he met others who shared his passion for the hunt, and had them join him as part of his entourage, such as the Vidigoy huntsmen and the Crypsis Corps. Soon enough, the wilds of Earth were no longer enough for him, and thus Lord Cooper established the Explorer Society in Malifaux. On the outside, it's an organization dedicated to exploration and science, but truthfully, it's all about the exploitation and plundering of the land, not to mention being a great home base for future hunts of this new world. One of his greatest prizes so far being the Mallosaurus Rex, the beast's taxidermied form now in a place of honor in his home. Even heard he might have found one or two of its eggs, meaning he might soon have his own little ancient beast under his control. Not every hunt was as successful though. One hunt in particular was sabotaged, resulting in Lord Cooper's near death. It was during his recovery from this event that he gained what I believe are his three closest companions. The first two are Artemis and Uller, two bloodhound pups who became excellently trained hunters. The leaner of the two, Artemis, has the best nose of any dog I have ever seen, able to track even the weakest trails with ease, and has a danger sense that has saved Lord Cooper's life numerous times. The bigger of the two, Uller, doesn't share his sibling's nose, but makes up for it with strength and aggression, able to drag out prey wherever they might try to hide. And then there's Model 9. You see, as Lord Cooper was recovering from his injuries, he had the best engineers around, trying their hardest to craft him some new limbs. None felt quite right for a while, until the 10th set, but the 9th set was still pretty damn good, and Lord Cooper used them to craft a humanoid automata. Model 9 is the only thing that can really come close to equaling Lord Cooper on the hunt, and thus Lord Cooper always keeps it around as a bodyguard, hunting companion, and occasional assassin. The only problem that everyone seems to ignore is its little, tics. Every day it seems to act more and more like Lord Cooper, walking around with a confident stride, taking just enough time on a hunt to make the prey really panic, and maybe, just maybe, taking a little too long to finish the kill so it can hear its prey scream just a little more. I will mention one other thing. Lord Cooper has changed a bit since his hunting accident. You see, he has begun to believe that he was holding himself back, that Malifaux isn't a place to restrict yourself with outdated concepts like morality, and thus his ethics, which were already pretty loose, have become even less, constraining. What do I mean? Well, let me give you a bit of advice. If you are ever really down on your luck, and a lawyer comes out of nowhere to clear all your debts, after, of course, you fill out a rather lengthy and hard-to-read contract, maybe just consider heading to the poorhouse instead, because one day, Lord Cooper will enforce that contract's little bit of fine print, and you will find yourself running for your life from him and his entourage. You see, my friend, when Lord Cooper is stuck at home for whatever reason, he doesn't want his skills to get rusty. And the only way to make sure that doesn't happen is to introduce his contractee to the most dangerous game.
Hi guys, welcome back to our Malifaux Masters Breakdown, where we showcase the factions and personalities vying for soulstones and dominance in the Broken City. Today's episode features the Explorer Headhunter Lord Cooper and his deadly Apex keyword. The Apex crew excel at long-range firepower and control, where they're able to isolate targets for execution while maintaining a safe distance from retaliation. The keyword's predatory instinct ability allows the hunters to choose to suffer a negative to either their duel or damage flip in order to attain a positive of the reverse during their attack actions. This skill dovetails nicely with the condition game Cooper's Lodge plays, with adversary staggered and injured, ensuring that enemy models have little room to escape once they've been singled out. Leading the hunt is the mighty Lord Cooper, a devastating range combatant rightly feared for his .950 Nitro Express rifle attack action, which boasts a 14-inch range, 7 damage top end and ignores cover. With Cooper's ability to select a model to receive adversary each turn thanks to his most dangerous game ability, and the fact that he can fire twice each turn thanks to the reload bonus action, he can often guarantee a kill, even on resilient targets thanks to his put down trigger on a ram. Once he's done blasting, the headsman possesses a great backup toolkit featuring healing and pulse movement from his foul-mouth motivation, and a useful shockwave in the form of explosive ordnance. In an interesting turn, the Apex's 3 totems are less concerned with working with their master and more about escaping away with their lives, going so far as to deploy on the halfway line. The runaways can be targeted by Lord Cooper, who receives a soulstone if he's the one to end their lives. On the board, the runaways are excellent distractions to tar pit high-priced opponents, and can even grant the Apex a bonus hand refresh and scheme marker anywhere on the board should they manage to escape their pursuer. Representing the Apex's only henchman entry is the robotic knife thrower Model 9, an exceptionally mobile assailant who boasts both run and gun and the mobile warrior abilities. Nines is an excellent anti-schemer with both the pace and damage to curtail flankers while also standing up to damage thanks to his 2 armor and 7 hit points. Moving over to Enforcers, and the hulking Malosaurus Rex offers a close combat alternative to tie down opposition with its 2-inch melee zone and 50mm base. With terrifying 12, hard to wound and 12 wounds, the big dino is designed to slug it out in the centre of the board while also pinning enemies in place with pushes thanks to its lashing tendrils and tail whip actions. If it's something slightly more fuzzy that you're looking for, then Lord Cooper's faithful hounds Artemis and Ula might be more in line. The former is an excellent line breaker thanks to its nimble additional movement and on your heels trigger to their intimidating roar. Artemis also offers supplemental scheme marker manipulation thanks to its nose on the ground bonus action, which can remove all schemes within 3 inches and distribute an equal amount of enemies with a distracted condition. Ula on the other hand offers excellent defensive support thanks to both the by your side and warning growl ability, which allows them to impose a negative damage flip against any allies within 2 inches. The fantastic flush them out tactical action is excellent for repositioning Lord Cooper, while also giving him the focus condition needed to fuel the reload for his rifle. Moving over to minions, and we have the outstanding Crypsis Core for 7 soulstones, premier snipers who possess both stealth and expert shot to support their ranged rifle. Speaking of the rifle, thanks to its ability to add a suit to shots against enemies with conditions, the Crypsis are one of the few minions capable of a double crit strike attack. Their patient strike ability is the Crypsis bread and butter, which when combined with the sniper ability can offer a frankly ridiculous kill lane for your other models to push enemies into for a free shot each activation. Alternatively, for the same cost, you might consider the shared EVS Harpooner, a slightly shorter range shooter that specialises in dragging opposing models out of position as well as reliable damage and flips thanks to their reconfigure ability, which can treat any masks cheated as having a value of 9. Finally, for 6 soulstones, the Apex can offer the Vitagi Huntsman, who gives a range control from their pit trap markers as well as card draw thanks to the Bond of Blood ability. The On the Hunt attack is particularly interesting against models with multiple characteristics such as Living and Construct, where the cumulative effects can rapidly add up for damage and conditions. On the table, the Apex are at their best when set up in an optimum fire arc where they can survey incoming targets for elimination with their superior range and firepower. Strat and scheme pools that reward targeted killing and damage are naturally to the benefit of Lord Cooper's expedition, but don't discount those that require mid-table scheming thanks to the range of out-of-activation movement and pushes at their disposal. In terms of gameplay, expect the Apex to focus on putting out damage early while tying up enemies with runaways in the Malifaux, before then looking to secure secondary VPs in the late game when they have a suitable activation advantage. The keyword can also mitigate a fair amount of damage thanks to their defensive abilities, though this is much improved with sufficient cover and concealment. If you happen to find yourself as the most dangerous game, then fear not, there are ways that you can keep yourself out of the Apex's sights long enough to survive. Firstly is negative flip in positions and defensive abilities such as Serene Countenance, Concealment and Manipulative to offset their predatory instinct bonuses. Card Drain and Terrifying can dramatically reduce the number of shots faced each turn, while an Alpha Strike from a tanky 2-inch melee model can at least force some of those shots to instead become repositions. Finally, mobile crews and blocking terrain might be able to skirt around long enough to score the more spread out schemes and strategies quickly before being fired upon later. So if you'd like to join the hunt, then consider the following example list, which takes full advantage of both movement and conditions, as well as high range damage in order to hold down the centre of the board. The Hopeful Prospect is an excellent addition thanks to its heal trigger bonus action, fuel for Cooper's reload with good show, and the ability to level up into a fresh Cryptic core following a kill. Just be wary of anyone obeying your Malifaux to use Territorial, leaving it stranded in place for the turn. Such enemies might instead warrant the inclusion of Model 9 and his blades. So that brings us to the end of this Malifaux Master breakdown. We hope it's been useful in giving you a snapshot of its crew and their mechanics. A massive thank you in addition to the vocal talents of the wonderful Arvandus during the video's intro. You can find more of his excellent lore content in the links in the description below. For more talk about Malifaux and its masters, why not check out our podcast, The Harlefaux Show, where we break down each keyword and why you should play it. Alternatively, we have a wealth of beginner-friendly battle reports here on the channel that guide players through every flip and decision. Whichever you choose, we look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, folks. Hi guys, thank you very much for watching our content. It means the world to us. If you'd like to see some more videos, they should be over here. And if you'd like to support our channel, keep these lights on. You can find links to our Patreon and merchandise in the description below. See you later.